Hello, welcome to class. My name is Hannah Weaver. My pronouns are she, her, and this is a guided free we're gonna start that over. Brrr. Hi, welcome to class. My name is Hannah Weaver. My pronouns are she, her, and this is a guided freestyle class, and we're calling it shapes. And what that means is that we're gonna focus on making shapes with all different areas of our body. Maybe our hands, maybe our hips, maybe our head, our nose. We're gonna kind of like work through the body. This is gonna be about a 30-minute sort of somatic reset. There are no wrong answers in this class, all right? So I just want you to take a moment, connect to yourself, let yourself off the hook. There is no judgment here. And I'm gonna sort of explain as we go, and it'll be a pretty fun, kind of cool experience together. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna be barefoot today. That's just how I feel most comfortable. You should take class however you feel most comfortable. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so we're gonna start from our head and work all the way down to our toes. And like I said, there are no wrong answers. So I want you to start with drawing a circle with your head. When I call this class shapes, I wasn't joking. Now, as you work through these movements, you are encouraged to do whatever that means. So like I'm drawing a circle with my head here, all right? Now, let's draw a square, all right? Maybe with our nose. Let's go the other way. Let this be whatever that looks like for you. Good, now maybe think of your right or your left eyebrow. Maybe make a triangle. This is a fun way to move without judging yourself and just seeing kind of what happens creatively. All right, let's get our shoulders into it. Let's make some circles with our shoulders. Maybe take one shoulder, draw a bigger circle. It's like art class with your body. Maybe draw an even bigger circle with your other shoulder. All right, let's get those shoulders making squares. Up, down, shoulder. Straight line, straight, up, over. Like you're drawing a circle. Let's make some triangles. Like you have a little marker glued to your shoulder and you're making shapes. Good. Let's walk it out. Let's go back to our head a little bit. Make sure we get a nice, good warm up through the top of our body. Let's make a triangle with our nose. Ready? Now this may feel a little silly, but silly's good. Open up your heart a little bit. Good. All right, let's move into making some shapes with our arms, with our hands, with our elbows, all right? So instead of staying isolated here, we can move it out to these limbs, all right? Why don't we start here? I'm gonna make a circle this way. Let's start with circle, whatever that means for you with your arms. You could keep it really small if you wanted. All right? You can do whatever you want there. You can make it really big. Let's take the other side. Let's make a square. Ready? Remember, no wrong answers. And I encourage you, put your own spin on it. Focusing on what you're creating, art class with your body, instead of thinking of it as exercise. Mine turned into a rectangle. That's okay. I'm gonna make triangle, moving into shapes. Can't you see that I need company? I'm losing my way. Only get through when it's you. Good. Let's just think about our hands for now. Just make some circles. This sort of fits into the sort of contemporary category. Maybe get both hands going. This is also a great, like I said earlier, a great somatic reset. If you're feeling a little anxious today, this is a great way to get out of your head and into your body. And when you're present with yourself, it's a little easier to just kind of tap into that peace, that inner peace that you have. Let's draw some, let's use our elbows. Why don't we go with triangle? And maybe your triangle is isosceles. Or the other types of triangles. I can't think of any other types at the moment. And remember, this is freestyle. So that can look however you want it to look. Why don't we get some squares going with both elbows? All right. Good. Let's take it back to our arms. Let's do some circles, but maybe take them a little lower. Like I said, guided freestyle. Do whatever you want. You might just want to have me on in the background, or maybe just the audio of this class. Or turn it on your phone. Put your phone in your pocket and just follow. We're still going with circles with our arms and our hands. And maybe just follow the audio of this, because whatever I'm doing might not be what feels right in your body. Big circles. Good. Let's stay there a little longer. Big, big circles, whatever that looks like for you. No wrong answers. Art class with your body. Good. All right, let's move down into our core. We're gonna take our time, all right? No need to rush through this class. Check in if you need to, take a moment, pause, whatever is gonna help you get the most out of this class experience, all right? Do that, because that's the right answer. All right, let's go with circles with our hips, whatever that means to you. Now this one, since we can't move as freely as we can with a leg or an arm, or even a head, this one may feel a little different when we move into some other shapes, all right? I'm gonna go for squares, but for me, that's gonna look like shifting back and forth. Imagining, remember like when you're in like kindergarten and you do those little stamp projects, you put it in the paint and then you stamp the shapes on the paper. I'm just sort of imagining my core like a little stamp. And it's square, and I'm just stamping. Making squares. You might notice, you might do something that feels really good. Then just stay there. There's no problem with that. All right, now this one's gonna feel a little funny. That's okay, remember this is a no judgment zone. I want you to think about your belly button, and I want you to draw some triangles with that belly button. And they could be tiny little triangles. Might be easier to make squares. All right, let's try some squares with that belly button. Actually, let's do some circle belly buttons. Tiny little circles. Do whatever you want with your hands, with your arms. You could add some circles in with your hands if you want. All right, so we've done some core work. Now, why don't we get our booty in on the party? All right, so whatever that looks like for you, draw some circles with your booty. Booty circles. Let's move into squares with your booty. That could just mean straight line, rigid instead of soft, like circles, with these core and bottom half movements. That could just mean imagining straight lines instead of round lines. Let's go into triangles. I'm gonna draw a triangle with my left rear end. All right? Whatever that looks like for you. Remember, no wrong answers. Art class for your body. Because really, that's all we are. We're just walking works of art. Let's go with circles again. Feels good. A few more moments here. All right, take a moment, get reset. You're doing great. You know your shapes. Check in, take a moment. Make sure you're letting yourself off the hook. You're not judging yourself. You're just making art today. That's all you're doing. That is all we're doing. All right, let's move in to our legs, all right? And we're gonna kind of isolate different sections of our legs, but for now, just go with your whole leg, okay? You can make some circles if you want. Let's start with circles here. Well, those will be the shape we start with. That can look like that, all right? If you wanna make bigger circles, you totally can. Or if you're just focused on making soft lines instead of rigid lines, that works too. Good. Let's go some squares. Square, square, across, up, over, down. Maybe this time, think about that marker that's glued to your knee. Make a square, down and over, up, across, down and over. Remember, there's no wrong answers in this art class. Good. Let's make some triangles maybe. I'm feeling like I just want to walk in a triangle using my legs. All right? So I'm going to go this way. All right? I'm going to turn. I'm going to make the bottom of that triangle. All right, and I'm going to go back up to the point. All right? This is all part of this somatic movement, this contemporary style. Have fun with it. All right, I'm gonna draw a triangle with my leg. It's a funky one. It looks like a flag. Brace yourself on your wall or a chair if you need to. Remember, we're not thinking of this class as some kind of brutal workout. We're thinking of this class as an art class, and we get the opportunity to make some art with our bodies. Triangle. You make that art however you'd like. What's important here is that you're here, you're honoring yourself, you're honoring your vessel. You're doing things a little unconventionally today. That's okay to admit. You can say, I just took a shapes class. And somebody will say, what is that? And you'll say, we'll go find out on joyn. Good, those are some triangles. Let's go back to those big circles. Draw some soft lines with those legs. Circle, you can make a circle in the air if you want. You can make a circle on the ground with your little toesies. Circle in the air. Or make a circle on the ground. Good. Why don't we take it back up to our upper body now in this freestyle class. Let's go back to your elbows. Make some circles with those elbows. Moving the focus back up. Whatever that looks like for you. Now this time, as we work through that upper body, try to make it feel a little more fluid, a little more dancey, if you will. Big circle. You may want to take your elbows around in a circle. All right? You can walk it around. See? Shapes on all planes. We've got lateral, we've got horizontal, we've got the other ones. Let's draw some triangles with those hands. Drawing two triangles. And sometimes it doesn't necessarily look like drawing the shape. It could just be moving in that shape. You know what I mean? Good. All right, we're gonna go back down to our bottom half, all right? And we're gonna be really specific now with our feet. All right, so if you have somewhere nearby that you wanna brace yourself with just for balance, that's perfectly fine. Or if you are able to keep your balance, that's perfectly fine too, all right? So I want us to think about our ankles, all right? Our ankles do so much work for us. Let's make some circles with those ankles, focusing in on a very specific part of your body. This is a great way, like I said, to relieve some anxiety if that's what you're handling today, by really like zooming in on ways to come back to yourself. All right? All kinds of stuff happens to get us away from ourselves. It's important that we take the time to really come back home to your body. Drawing circles. with those ankles. Those could be big circles. You could be thinking of maybe the ankle joint, drawing a circle, all right? Or you can roll it just like me. And this is all just to make some art, just to have a good time. All right, maybe you want to really roll through those ankles in some real subtle circles. All right, let's go with our toes. Let's make some squares. Squares. Focusing in on those toes. Our toes do so much for us too. They aid us in balance. Don't neglect your toesies. And you could draw a square with your toes in the air if you wanted. Square. Mine are more rectangular, but that's okay. Good. Let's make some triangles with those feet. All right. I like to do it this way. Triangle, triangle, triangle. But remember, this is a freestyle class. This little somatic reset is for you. So if you're wanting to lay down, put those feet in the air and draw some triangles, go for it. There are no wrong answers. All right. Let's go back to our core. We revisited our upper half. Let's go back to our core. Let's make some circles again. Soft lines, soft shapes. Taking the opportunity to roll through, checking in. You can make smaller, faster circles. All right, let's go back to some square movement in your core. You can be thinking of your shoulder points and your hip bone points as the square or the rectangle. Look at that, you're dancing. This is my square movement. What does yours look like? All right, good. Just take a moment, relax. We're gonna go with the whole body. This is your chance to use your space, all right? When we make our shapes, you may want to just walk in that shape. Walk mindfully in that shape. You may want to pull out your best Martha Graham, okay? Your best contemporary dancer. You might wanna pull out your best ballerina. Whatever that looks like for you, we're gonna spend a little bit of time on all three of our shapes, incorporating our entire body. All right, take a moment. This is our last 3 or 4 minutes together. Let's really settle in, get grounded, get focused. Let's do it. All right, circle time. Whatever that looks like for you. Big circles using your whole body, or smaller circles using your legs and your hands. Maybe going back to your rear end, or making round shapes with your vessel. Thinking round thoughts. Whatever that looks like for you. Just a few more moments here. We're gonna move into square shapes with our body. All right. Let's see, where do I want to go for my square shapes? I'm gonna go here. No wrong answers. No judgment in your movement. I'm thinking square thoughts. I'm walking a straight line backwards. Step to the side, walk. And slide in a square. You may just want to take 4 steps in a square if you want. Bring it back. I'm going to move towards the camera now. Back. Square thoughts. Good. Let's go through. Let's think some triangular thoughts. Maybe you want to draw your triangle with your legs, and you want to just live there. You can go from square to triangle, square, or just keep it triangle. I can go up and draw that line all the way across. Up. Now, you have about 30 more seconds. Do whatever you want here. Make whatever shapes you want to make. Freestyle it out. Circles and squares galore. You did it. We have moved through our art class for the body. Well done. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for stepping outside of your comfort zone or your comfort square. I'm so glad you joined me. I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.